Hello guys, this is Liaka. I was thinking of doing this video for a while, just walking through some basics of how to edit some stuff on your own, like maybe changing the groups, maybe introducing a new group instead of the one I have in the mission. And yeah, this will cover some basics. I'm not sure how big this video is going to be or how long it's going to be, but let's walk through some basic stuff, some stuff that pop up as questions. So first of all, this is the setup file for the Foothold Syria. Typically, when you open it up, you might use, I don't know, a Node++ or whatever. Um, so I'm gonna walk you through where you can find stuff at least for the basics. Uh, I will go straight down to where every zone is defined, and it will be here. It will typically start with this. Zones is the table where every zone is defined. This is the actual zone name, and it's the real name that is found in the editor. So basically, this is the name I have copied from and just added here. This indicates that this zone should start by the blue coalition, i.e. side 2, and this is side 1, the red side. And here we have the upgrade field, which basically means, hey, this zone should use airfield upgrade table to define which groups are going to be used. So if we scroll up a little bit to the upgrades table, we can maybe copy this. And if we go upward, here we have the upgrades. So for example, a criteria used airfield, which is just airfield. It's supposed to be somewhere here. Yeah, this is the one. It means when the zone is controlled by the blue side, it will have blue infantry, blue PD, blue PD1. And if you want to understand what this group is easy. Is the only actual option is to look at in the editor. So you'll find a lot of these groups going to be found here. So enemy ground forces, this is obviously the red side. More on the blue side can be found here. So for example, this is Blue PD Cold War. This is the Cold War version. It doesn't have some units that is, yeah. We also have here, this is stuff that you can purchase. And yeah, so the blue infantry is gonna be found somewhere around here. Here they are. So let's say you want to change anything of these groups, you can just do so. But I would advise you not to do this while the mission is currently saved or running, because let's say you change this group and the mission will load. If there will be any discrepancy, like the unit is not found, because the save file in DCS, or at least in Foothold, typically don't save which group it is. It saves the actual unit, so it will know. It will look for the Tor SA-15. It will actually look for the manpad. So that means if you change any of the group types, let's say you add one extra infantry or actually remove one extra infantry, then the save file will get hiccup. It will not find this. It will not find this group. So what will end up happening is this zone here, since you are first of all altering the first group in the upgrade table, not the last one, the group will actually start by becoming neutral, because this group, this unit that it's supposed to find wasn't here. So that's an issue. So be aware when you change stuff. Keep that in mind. Either you start to change those, or you start from a fresh site. So that's a thing. And yeah, so if you want to remove anything from here, like if you want to remove, let's say it's enough with one SA-15, yeah, just simply remove this line here, and this will not alter the save file at all. So keep that in mind. Yeah, so that's the first. So now we know a little bit more about the grouping. And for those guys do that run the Cold War version, here is what will be swapped when the Cold War is true. So, for example, I'm telling my script, hey, Red Armor Group 2, swap it with Red Armor Group 6, just because here there is some older tanks. It's not so modern. And if you want to do the same thing for other units, let's say you don't want to have any SA-15, which I already do here, this means that, yeah, you just add that line. So here I already have the Tour M2. So if you want to add the normal SA-15, it will be like Red Sam Shorad's. I think it's going to be SA-15. Let's double check that if this is the case. All this fixed, by the way, is groups that is already predefined in the mission and already have a place for it. Yeah, so it seems that I'm not using any SA-15 period. I'm using a 2. So if we go back to where we edit it, we can add the number 2 here. So every SA-15 that equals anything that equals this will be replaced by an SA8 in this case. But I already have a SAM swap here as well, which basically tells it that anything that is having those names here will be swapped to this. So keep that in mind. And this will only run if this option in the editor is toggled to true, which is false by default. Here we have the waypoint list, which is just nothing to do with the actual waypoints you see on the F10 map. This is when you click on, how do you say it? If you go to missions and then you click on a zone status, it will display this information. Here is the actual waypoint list for every waypoint. This is visible on the F10 map. And yeah, so this is where you see it. And here is what the save file is defined. So this means that the save file itself, if it's Cold War, then the save file will be named like this. If it's not Cold War, then it will be named like this. So going back to this particular portion here, we have the upgrade table we just talked about, and then this is which flavor, which of these is equal to, yeah. So this is like self-telling. It's just telling that this, hey, Ramat David is the one for Ramat David. That's basically it. So yeah. And if we keep scrolling down, we will find hidden zone. Those hidden zone, they are never, how do you say it? They are never um, um, colored on the F10 map. Those zones I use to place units outside the zone. Basically, I could have units basically scattered here. They need to belong to the zone, but but they are not confined to be within the zone. And this is because I use the fixed name here, which basically means that these groups will not randomly spawn anywhere. They will spawn actually in their own place. So every fixed name, anything with fixed, is mean they are pre-placed. So if we, for example, look here, this is also the EWR, early warning radar, is also fixed because this one will actually spawn in this place. Yeah, so here we have the templates where I choose a random plane for each mission. So for example, this is the cap, and this is only if the Cold War is true. So this is a Cold War setup here, and you can obviously remove anything from here, or you can also add anything to it. Be aware that these groups need to actually exist in the mission editor, so those are predefined here. So for example, red MI8, you need to have it basically exactly the same name. Otherwise, the script will not work. Yeah. So, but without the Cold War, it will run this one here, and then the mission will choose randomly any of these. And now the function where we have defined if this is Cold War, then do this, otherwise do this, ends here. Here is the regular stuff. Here there is no need to define a Cold War scenario. This is the same units for both cases. This is why it's after end. And now let's talk about how you add groups, or let's say remove groups. So let's say you want to have a more blue cap of some sort or more red cap to make the mission a little bit harder. Adding groups is very easy now. You don't need to work on the editor at all. This you only need to find which zone you want to have them take off from. Be aware that some zones do not have airbase, so this is obviously something that you need to be aware of. So, for example, if we look at police, it's only a FARP. This means having a plane taking off from that zone will be a bad idea. So as we have here, we have a Hilo supply template, which basically is a Hilo mission, and its target is to be supplying to Papos. And here we have an attack convoy, which is a ground convoy, and yeah, just follow the logic. It's quite easy. You don't need to put any groups inside the zone. It will be selected randomly, and attack convoy is the template name. So as we showed you before, the template list, it's where it will select the template from. And for the attack convoy, there is 4 different for each era. So it will select a random group based on of obviously what it selects. So it's again random. Type surface need to be added just because how the function will handle the process of spawning them and giving them the waypoints. This is very important. If you do not have this, it will not work. This is just a thing that if you want to have additional delay on this group, they can be delayed by ×2. So normally a group will be delayed if they have been killed. Then they will go to the dead state, if you want to call it that, or unalived state. After that, if you want to make the time even slower, you would basically have this delay. If you don't want any delay, just remove this. So keep in mind that when you remove this, also you need to remove the comma. It will be like this if you don't want to have it. One thing that is Lua sensitive, if you're gonna add something below this, make sure that you have this one here. Also, if you want to add a new line, Control D is usually the thing in at least Node++. Here I had to change to have that. But you can also finish with having the comma at the bottom. It's not necessarily a thing that you need to remove it before the last line. But doing this and making a new line, this will cause an error because you need to have a comma after the last line. But you can again have a comma here as well at the last line. Yeah, so if I want, I can just do this and keep going. So let's talk about airborne stuff. So here we have a helicopter mission that will be attacking Pinarbashi. The mission type is CAS, the CAS Hilo template. This is defined as a helicopter, which is obviously for the attack. Mission type CAS is important because it's actually this that will send the attribute to the group to make them attack the zone. Otherwise, if they don't have this, they will actually just spawn and nothing else will happen. Yeah, and the naming here is just to be clear. Yeah, so if we go down a little bit, we have cap, which is yeah, it's the same thing. It's very easy. Patrol, this means this will only take off if the target zone is the same side. So for example, Erkan, patrol Erkan, this basically means, hey, go up and patrol yourself. And this will always be true because this Erkan here will always be the same side. Basically, it's you cannot take off from a zone and patrol yourself as an enemy. This is what basically means. Patrol means same side. Here we have an attack. Obviously, it will not be on the same. Oh yeah, I've seen this would need to be Papos. Erkan attack Papos and its attack, Kaplan template, and mission type cap, and the target zones Papos. This then would mean that Papos is not the same side as the zone itself. So if Erkan is, let's say it's blue, then this will only take off if Papos is red, or vice versa. If Erkan is red, it will only take off if Papos is blue. So this is the logic of it. Here I have another thing, which is dice chance. This means basically there is a 30% chance for this to be succeeded as a takeoff. Not only takeoff, this is obviously a ground attack, so 30% chance for this to succeed as a chance. It's like you throwing a dice. Here again, spawn delay factor 4, which means that this will be delayed quite a lot, up to an hour or even more. There is no up to, it's just it's quite a long time. Yeah, and this is the gist of it. I have something here like blue condition function return true, and this means when I add this this particular line, this means that this should only take off if the zone is blue. This will not take off if the zone is red. This is because CVN 73 only actually exists if the zone is blue. So hence, this is why I have this. Yeah. All right, let's walk down to the shop. I think this might come up as a question sometimes. By the way, if you wanted to remove a group from be able to move, let's say I don't want this group to move at all because there is this roam function which makes grouping or groups move from time to time inside their own zone. You can just remove these groups if you don't want them. Yeah, so here's the shop. For example, here we have cruise missile, which costs 500 credits. If you want to edit the cost of it, you can just type any number here. So if we scroll down, we have supplies, and the thing will keep going until you reach the end of all the shop. Dynamic cargo, which is dynamic arco correction, cost 100. Yeah, so here's the JTAG still in the shop. And the end of the shop, you will find something important, which is this portion around here. It's gonna come up here. So here we have how much this is the sorting basically. This is the sorting I want to have them sorted at. So for example, if we look another value, which is cruise missile, when we have -1 here, it means it's unlimited. You can choose as much as you want. But cruise missile, though, it's only limited to 12. This basically means that you can purchase this 12 times in the whole mission. After that, it will be not. It will not. Yeah, this option will be gone. Here are all the zones that you can use as a supply zone if you want to edit that, if you want to remove zones. Let's say you don't want to take helicopter as supplies. All right, now we're gonna switch script here. And if we're gonna search for that, we can just search for UH60L. Let's see. Here we have logistic commander. Here we can define which basically which helicopters can be used as both CSAR and also logistics. So if you want to remove the Apache from here, just basically delete this line, or if you want, you can just add this 2 lines here, which basically will remove the Apache as an option for carrying supplies. Yeah, this is how many pilots you can carry if you pick up a dead pilot or ejected pilot. So you can use that to maybe modify it to only 1 or 2 or unlimited. Just do what you want. Yeah, that's a small walkthrough here. I think everything is self-explanatory. CTDLD cost, it's also self-explanatory. Store limits, this means that people who just join the server will not be able to purchase anything until they get some credits. Show kills, if it's false when you kill something. The foothold itself will not tell you that you have killed anything until you land and you redeem credits. Splash damage is false. Credit lose when killed. If this is true, every time you die, you lose 100 credits. This is mainly for players. No SA10 and SA11. This is to replace everything with SA2, for example. This is mostly connected to the Cold War version if you like to really make stuff a little bit easier. And then we have here Cold War. This is where you toggle Cold War on and off. If you want to Cold War, you remove the 2 lines here by just using delete button, and then you add 2 lines on the modern era. And then we have, yeah, those are the options. Hey, I hope this guys, this video will help you out. If anyone have any more questions, you can post them to me and I try to answer. Goodbye.